Welcome to Bestseller Club series interview. This is Som Bartla, author of 22 books at Amazon and founder of Author Freedom Hub, a community of aspiring authors where we authors come, write the books, publish the book, and thrive in a self-reliant way. And this is a Bestseller Club series where I meet authors who hit bestsellers in multiple categories, multiple countries. So today we have with us Meeta Gupta from Ludhiana. Meeta, welcome.
Thank you so much, sir, for having me.
Pleasure.
Feeling great
So,
to be here.
yes, wonderful. So, Meeta is from Ludhiana. She is author of two books. She wrote one book earlier, and the second book she wrote after coming to the community. She joined the community in the month of September 2020, and the book was out in the month of February 2021. And this book has had hit bestseller in USA, Canada, Australia, and India. So, congratulations, Meeta. How does it feel to hit bestseller?
Thank you. Being bestseller not in one countries but in many countries, I think it's truly exciting for me. It's like
Wonderful.
dream come true.
Absolutely.
Um, I still remember like my first book was purchased by a stranger in USA. So
Hmm.
it was such a beautiful, amazing feeling that my book is finally traveling around the world. And at the
Wonderful.
same time, it's very much inspiring also to be the bestseller. And also it gives you a sense of responsibility to keep writing honestly and also to make your readers joyful. So
Wonderful, wonderful. So Meeta is, multi-talented lady. She is also into martial arts. She is a green belt holder in martial arts. She is fond of writing in a philosophical fiction style. She has a deep message to share with the world. Her book is The Realm Beyond the Mind. It's a wonderful book in a very storytelling format. She's written the book. And watchers of this video, if you're watching this channel for the first time, I request you to subscribe to this channel, hit the notification bell so that you could get more such videos coming to you in your inbox. So now we'll start with the discussions with Meeta. So welcome again, Meeta, here to the show. And let me ask the first and foremost question to you. Uh, what inspired you to write books? What inspired you?
I have been on this transformational journey for many years. And
Hmm.
one of my most beautiful learning is that I am not my mind, that I want to experience this space of being where I'm not controlled by my thoughts. So I wanted to experience this idea. I wanted to explore it more and through my fictional characters and fictional world. And also I wanted to share it in the form of a story with my readers.
Hmm.
For example, like I wanted to experience this place where the space takes you to this space, makes you experience this space of being. So I created this mysterious place, which may appear to be a little harsher or ruthless like a strict teacher, but ultimately it will push you beyond the boundaries of your mind. Because
Hmm.
it's not easy to be free from your thoughts and beliefs and conditioning which you have gathered all throughout the year. So this is how I created this tribal land in mysterious mangrove islands. And also, I wanted to create a character how she experiences life when she is into this realm beyond the mind. So I
Hmm.
wanted to experience life through her. So
Hmm.
this is how I created my character Meru and other characters also based on various
Wonderful.
mindsets.
Yes, yes, yes. So before some author writes a book, there is some background journey behind that. And no, I mean, I don't think that anybody starts a life saying that people used when they start their life, their parents say that you'll become doctor, engineer, lawyer, etc. But nobody starts their life with a thing like you'll become an author, singer, dancer. These are the creative realms. So can you please go back to your childhood, your education, and then how did, you are a commerce graduate, right? Yeah. So you're a commerce graduate, learning martial arts, doing some creative fashion designing also, works also. So just talk about some background of yours, and then from there I will take the value nuggets from you. Please tell about your background, and then I'll ask about your book. Yes.
Since childhood, stories have always inspired me. I still
Ah.
remember I was always reading since childhood. Reading was one thing that was always happening. And at the same time, I was very much fond of writing diaries. So it was a way of understanding my own self and other
Hmm.
people as well.
Hmm.
So this reading and writing were always going on side by side. Uh, And when I was like, I got married, then I had my kids, and when I
mm,
had plenty of time with myself,
mm,
so and I started working upon myself. I'm very much fond of doing yoga and meditation.
mm,
So I think through yoga and meditation, I experienced a lot of transformations,
mm,
and through reading as well.
mm,
So I just felt like sharing it in a form of a story. It just happened to me,
mm,
and I just started writing it out, and then it was like the story just wanted itself to write through me. So
mm,
it just happened. Nothing was planned. Like I never
mm.
thought that I would ever be an author.
Yes, this happens with many creative people. I mean, mostly people don't think that they will be ending up in this way, but yes, something transformed within you by doing some yoga and meditation. So you yourself are saying that it happened through you. Maybe you, I mean, the better way of putting it is like the universe used you as a conduit to pass through all the wisdom to the world, right? Right. So you created, now let's talk about, I read this book, wonderful book, so much imagination you use, so much creativity into framing different characters. So can you just little bit get inside the book about, I mean, of course, you can't tell the whole story, but could you just elaborate certain elements of the story with a deep message? Why, how that character, the character Meru, ventured into the land, and then she was able to, I mean, and how someone could go in the realm which is beyond the mind. So please talk about something from the book.
The story, the basic idea, I was very much, this all story started with the idea. I
Mm-hmm.
was very much fascinated with this space of mind
Mm,
where you are doing what you love to do,
mm,
and you are so much into it, you kind of cease to exist.
mm,
Something higher takes over to you,
mm,
and how universe, you are kind of in flow with life, and how
mm,
universe uses that flow of energy for higher purposes. So
mm,
this was the idea, which really fascinated me, and
mm,
and the story started forming around itself. So
mm,
through this idea, I created characters, like what kind of with different mindsets. Like there is a reptilian mindset, there
mm,
is a
mm,
survival mindset, there is a
mm,
free mindset. So people with their dominant mindsets, how they experience life. Like
mm,
people with a survival mind,
mm,
they remain trapped in this boundary of mind for their
mm,
entire life.
mm,
they are not even aware that there is a space beyond this mind also. So
mm,
they are always angry, irritated, and
mm,
they're never satisfied with their life, no matter how much money or fame they have.
mm,
While the people with free mind, nothing
mm,
seems to be impossible for them. So I
mm,
created my character Meru with a free mind.
mm,
Since she is a completely free mind, she could not be of this earth. So
mm,
she belongs to another world. She
mm,
comes to this earth, and she like when she sees how we are being controlled by fears and beliefs, and we are
mm,
not able, we are not connected at all like we should be.
mm,
So this is how I created Meru. And then there is one character on the earth who wanted to bring extinct species back to life.
mm,
So now this is something which is very much impossible. So
mm,
how this impossible thing will become possible,
mm,
it all happens in mind. So how
mm,
he evolves from his mind to a free mind to an enlightened mind, and
mm,
how he makes this impossible thing happen. So,
mm,
so this was there. There was Motilal with a free mind. Then there was a Meru with enlightened mind.
mm,
Then there was a character with reptilian mind.
mm,
How he's like, always too selfish, too self-centered person. Like he can
mm,
harm other people in a very
mm,
brutal manner.
mm.
So this is how I created the characters.
Wonderful, wonderful. So, if we look at closely, all these characters are out there in the real world. People with reptilian
Right.
mind. What do you think? If you look at the outside world, a majority of people will be into reptilian mind, right?
Survival mind.
Survival mindset. So let's talk about this survival mind. I mean, I would say like survival mindset, then reptilian mindset, then your said free mindset, and enlightened mindset. So if you have to look at the outside world today, how will you put the whole world today in your perspective, where the world is right now, and what will improve the world as a better place?
I think most of the people that I meet or I see around myself, even I think even me, we are of survival mindset.
Hmm.
Survival means to survive, like animals also survive.
Hmm.
For survival, they need food,
Hmm.
water, they need sleep. So the basic things of life,
Hmm.
like just like animals, what they needed. But
Hmm.
we humans, we have something beyond this survival.
Hmm.
We can experience our state of being. We can connect through universe, through a space which is beyond this survival mindset.
Hmm. Hmm.
So for that, we have to be very much aware about what we are thinking, about
Hmm.
our thoughts,
Hmm.
whether we are being controlled, whether we are because I see many people, they are being controlled by their compulsive thoughts. They keep
Hmm.
on thinking the same thing, so they are not able to get out of that.
Hmm.
They're always thinking कि अच्छा food क्या खाना है, कैसे रहना है, अच्छा I have to earn more money. So they are so much into it, they don't watch their thoughts. Like
Hmm.
as an observer, it is very important to observe those thoughts, and
Hmm.
then uh, when you are observing your thoughts, then you are at a place of observer, and being at a place of observer and then going beyond that survival thing is
Hmm.
takes you towards a free mind.
Hmm. It is one thing to say that you have to observe your thoughts and control the thoughts, but when we go into the practical world, people really can't control the thoughts. They really can't observe the thoughts. They are so much, in trap. So, do
Yeah.
you have some kind of recommendation in the story format way you tell people to improve their lives, right? So, can you please tell someone who is into survival mindset and who is looking for some ways whereby things happen through him in a very flowy way? What are the few things which you think would be important to start from the perspective of that person so that they could improve their world?
I think foremost, like for me, this metaphor on the mountaintop really works.
Mm-hmm.
Like whenever I think of this metaphor, I just sit on a mountaintop and
Hmm.
I see myself. I
Hmm.
observe my thoughts, and I observing without any judgment. The
Hmm.
second thing is like there should be no judgment. It should be just watching, like a
Hmm.
school principal watches the student from
Hmm.
his office. He's
Hmm.
not saying anything. He's just observing.
Hmm.
So that thing should be there, being
Okay.
aware, being watchful, not all the time. Like you should know ki, what are my
Hmm.
thoughts,
Hmm.
am I going, because whatever you will think, you will manifest that thing in your life. And
Hmm.
many people, they manifest the similar things in life, like they keep gets they're stuck in this just one chapter of the life.
Hmm.
So it is foremost thing is that every day make it a habit of
Hmm.
sitting and watching your mind. And
Hmm.
maybe you can journalize also. Journaling
Okay.
really helps.
Yes.
So
Yes. Yes.
just
Yes.
to be aware of this is what I think. Even if you're angry, just watching it, okay, this anger thought is coming, this
Hmm.
loving thought is coming, to be just aware of your thoughts. And then
Hmm.
when you are observing with full awareness without any judgment, you
Hmm.
will understand this drama of mind, how
Hmm.
mind keeps you busy. Once
Hmm.
you understand this drama of mind and you don't get into this drama, you
Hmm.
are automatically out of it.
Yes. 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 Yes.
The
Yes.
thing is only to watch and not to judge or not to be into it, because
Understood.
mind is very smart.
Hmm.
Mind is very smart, it just takes you into
Yes.
use. So
Yes.
you
Yes.
have to
Yes.
be like a guard, keep
Hmm.
watching your mind.
Yeah, it's very tricky. In fact, it's like looking at your own pupil, right? It's looking
Right.
like that because you are so closely connected to the mind, and that's the challenge with most people. And the way you beautifully summed up, awareness is the key.
Yeah, awareness without judgment.
Yeah, without judgment. Yes, without judgment, looking at the things as they are. And I remember Viktor Frankl wrote a wonderful book, The Man's Search for Meaning Within. He said that there is a stimulus and there is a response, and between stimulus and response there is a moment in which moment we have a total freedom of action which we can take. And most people are really reactive. They are, one thought is coming, they are immediately angry, happy, sad, anxious. They, and the way you are rightly saying, are observing without judgment, we immediately attach some kind of emotion to that. This man not looking good, that is judgment, right? This food
Yes.
not good, that's a judgment. So observing without judgment. And second said thing you said is journaling. Journaling is really, I would say, therapeutic as well, because it really becomes a second brain of your, because whatever is running in the mind, that comes on the paper, and that really helps you to look at the things very clearly. Yeah, wonderful, wonderful.
And also this thing to be in the present moment without any thoughts. Like if I am talking to you,
Hmm.
there may be thoughts going in my mind, whether how I am looking, the way I should talk. So
Hmm.
not to let even those thoughts control you. So even practicing to be in the present moment fully, like 100%
Hmm.
of you, you are
Hmm.
in the moment. So this
Hmm.
this also requires a practice, and this also helps you to be not being controlled by your mind.
Hmm. I'm just curious. All these things, when we talk about it, we are talking for improving our lives, right? But what is spirituality? Spirituality, I mean, are these connected when you are talking like this? Is it like not some other person, some spirit is looking at the things? So, is it spirituality?
Yeah,
Is it
I think it's a
religious?
part of
Yeah.
spirituality. Yeah.
Yeah. So, spirituality cannot be segregated from the normal life, right? One
No,
has to, one has to,
one has,
understand.
because we are humans. It's very important for us to connect in a spiritual manner, to connect through
Hmm.
spirits, because
Yes.
all that I think we have gathered is all conditioning beliefs. Beyond everything is we all are one, and
Hmm.
we all long for connection somewhere.
Yes, our souls crave for connection. It's a whole energy bundles moving in the universe, in you, in format of you,
Yes.
me. Yes, wonderful. So great value bombs coming from inside from you. So wonderful talking to you. Now let's, Mita, let's talk about your journey of authorship. About now, let's get into a little bit technical stuff. You wrote your first book in which year?
4 years back, in
4 years back.
2017. Yeah.
Okay. What is the book name of that book name?
The day I met my soul.
The day I met my soul. Wonderful. So, and now you have come out with the next book, The Realm Beyond the Mind. So, can you talk about the journey of your writing? How did you manage your writing? Then, after joining the community, what kind of writing schedules you made? What kind of things you improved in yourself? Let's talk about that journey.
Okay. I started. The writing, helps me to understand life and to explore more. So
Hmm.
for this book, it all started with that idea that we talked about just now. So
Hmm.
after this idea was clear to me, the story started forming itself, and for
Hmm.
whole 1 year I
Hmm.
was with my fictional characters
Okay.
in the fictional world.
Hmm.
I was completely into the story. So the
Hmm.
1 year, it took me almost a year to complete this book. So for
Hmm.
full 1 year, I was researching the idea. I was actually living the idea,
Hmm.
and I was meeting people like my mentors, to understand it more deeply, because it's very important to understand and experience what you are writing. So
Hmm.
writing was a very beautiful journey for me, like for 1 year.
Hmm. Wonderful.
And then the main challenge came once the writing was finished. It was
Before
publishing.
you go ahead, I remember James Clear's one wonderful quote. He said that to write a book, one has to become a book. So you have very clearly told that in 1 year, you lived the life as a book. You were into the characters. So salute to you for that kind of devotion to the writing. Wonderful. Go ahead, please.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So when the publishing thing happened, that was truly very challenging for
Hmm.
me, and I spent almost another year
Hmm.
for publishing, like
Hmm.
exploring different areas of publishing, because I wanted to get my book published in a traditional manner.
Right.
So I was very much onto it. I want to go to the traditional way.
Hmm.
So I explored this traditional publishing. I hired a literary agent also. I explored this idea of vanity publishing.
Hmm.
So it was like a roller coaster ride.
Hmm.
Every month I used to feel next month my book is going to get published,
Hmm.
and then nothing would happen.
Hmm.
So after spending a lot of time, money, and nothing was happening. And I still remember.
Let me get into the minds of a normal, I mean, when somebody starts to write a book, why does he think that he should be going through traditional publishing? But what exactly goes into the mind of an author that I should be published in a traditional way?
I think it is a very strong belief that is there to be published by a big publisher, because this
Hmm.
way your book would be more visible. I think
Hmm.
all these myths and beliefs were clear when I joined your program.
Hmm.
I was not very much keen towards self publishing earlier,
Hmm.
and I had a lot of myths and beliefs, and I was amazed why didn't I knew this earlier,
Hmm.
because I spent almost a year trying to, and finally in the end I learned this process through you. So
Yes.
it took almost a year, and some of the publishers did agree to publish my manuscript. But
Hmm.
when I went through that agreement, it was so restrictive for the author. One thing, it was not transparent, and there were a lot of restrictions, so which I could not sign. So
Hmm.
finally, I thought, ki I have to self-publish my book, and then I met you. I still remember when I saw your program, I was little reluctant whether I should spend time and money again. I should spend the energy on this program too. So I remember calling you up, and then I called you, and we talked almost for an hour. So because I wanted to be very much sure this time I am not going to be taken for a ride. So I talked to you, and then I attended your webinar. So after that, I was like very much sure. This time, I think it's like feeling nice to me. The program
Yeah.
is the person
You
seems to be
see
very
how
honest.
universe conspires. See, I never talk to people like this, but when you said that you wanted to speak, you are interested. Since you already written the book, I was speaking to you like as an author speaking to some other author, and you write in the genre niche which I do, because I am also curious about self exploration development. You're also into that. So yes, I remember the discussion we had, and finally that discussion made you believe, because most of the times when people are have really burned their fingers in the past, and that past bad experience sometimes make them reluctant to even join the genuine thing. So that's what your belief was, but great that you joined. Wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah. Then after that, after I joined the program, I really liked your weekly coaching sessions where
Hmm.
you used to answer all the doubts and questions. So this, because generally what happens, sometimes it's like you pay the money, you have a program, and then what to do next? You
Hmm.
are sometimes stuck. So I really liked your weekly coaching sessions, and
Hmm.
then I understood this whole process, step by step process
Hmm.
of publishing, launching, and marketing the book, and
Hmm.
how the book cover is to be designed. Like there are various other things as well, which you have covered very nicely in short videos, like to the
Hmm.
point thing is there, which I
Hmm.
really like.
Wonderful.
Then I really like the community of authors where
Hmm.
you can talk about books, like you can ask anything, talk anything, and like people are very helpful over there.
Hmm.
So which I really like community, weekly coaching sessions, your personal guidance. So that is I from author I became an entrepreneur, I think.
Wonderful. Great journey.
I
Great
really
journey.
love this word of yours, entrepreneur. So
Yes.
it was wonderful. It's an excellent program.
Wonderful. So, you can now easily compare the scenario when you had to connect with so many publishers, look at their contracts. Everybody is trying to take control of from your hands, and
Yeah.
try to squeeze as much from you
As
in
much
terms of,
money from,
yeah, as
yeah,
much money, publishing charges, and so much restrictive covenants. And now you have
free. Like
100%
I feel
control.
so much free as an author. Like
Yeah.
you're free to publish your books.
Yeah. You
And I
can
think
simply,
once you learn this process, then you can just go as far as you can. You just have to master this process once of
absolutely,
publishing a
yes.
book, and then there are no limits.
Yeah, it's a rinse and repeat. First
Yeah,
time it is difficult, but once you have got the hang of the stuff, then after that it is one book, two book,
yeah,
five book, 10 book, any number of books. And the best part is that you don't need to worry about that. I'm writing now. I need to contact the publisher. What he will do with my manuscript, all that stuff.
right, right.
I remember listening to Robin Sharma. He published his first book, the Monk Who Sold His Ferrari, in a self-published way. He was rejected like I believe more than 2 dozen time publishers, and imagine such kind of person, Robin Sharma, if he had taken the rejection seriously and thought that I am not a good author, I should not write the book, what would have happened? He went to self-publishing, and from self-publishing, his book picked up, and after that, he's now across the world. Wonderful. So great journey you have, Mita. Now, how does your husband and kids feel about you when you are a best-selling author in USA, Canada, India, Australia? Talk about the experience around you. What kind of vibes are there around?
I think when my book touched bestseller, it was a very proud moment. Especially, I could see it on my husband's face. He
Hmm.
was so happy. Like he was, I could see that sense of proud, and he was telling everybody around. Mita's book has touched bestseller in USA, and people were like, "Okay, in USA, in Canada." Like I could see them, like. it was truly like, my kids are young, but they could sense it. They said, "Mama, aaj kitni book sale hui? Mama, aapki kitni wo ho gayi?" So they were very happy
Yes.
with all this. And
Yes.
even I never expected this thing, that my book, like every week I'm selling my Kindle books, like outside India, 14 to
Hmm.
50 books are being sold, which you know, it gives you so much of
Yeah.
inspiration and kind of, joy in you, like all the efforts have finally, tasting the fruits of your efforts.
Wonderful.
So
Wonderful.
it's an amazing feeling that my book is being read by so many people. I never
Yeah.
thought, because my first book never went outside India.
Hmm. Hmm.
So this is something which is very great, and I see that people actually outside India, they love to read books.
Yes, 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 yes. Yeah, I have the same experience. Like in India, I have sold 85,000 plus copies right now. If I look at the comparison, maybe 1% is sold in India, and remaining majority
People,
portion is
yeah,
in.
there are readers out there.
Yeah, I mean, in US and Europe, people read one book in just 2 hours. They read it and next, what next? So they're very fast readers, avid readers. So great to know about your joy, and the biggest joy for any author is that his or her work is being noticed or recognized by the readers. That's the biggest joy for any author, right? So wonderful, wonderful, great to know about your story. Now let's talk about some set of people who are thinking of writing a book, who are thinking that maybe I will write, but how will I publish? Maybe I will publish, but how will I sell? So can you talk to that person from your personal experience, that what happened with you? Can you talk to that person eye to eye and tell him that he should not let his or her dream die? He should take action. You are a mother of two daughters. You are a wife of your wife, mother of two daughters, doing martial arts, green belt holder, and doing a lot of stuff, and still you're writing the books. So talk to that person who has a dream of someday becoming an author. So talk to that person eye to eye and tell that person
I
what should
think
happen.
it is very important to keep writing and reading, and not to worry so much about the success or failure.
Hmm.
Just to focus on more on writing, reading, and also to experience life with more awareness and sensitivity.
Hmm.
Because publishing will be taken care by Somsar. So you just have to concentrate on reading and writing, and keep writing, because I think publishing is something which you need to learn once. A whole process you need to learn once, which you can always do it.
Hmm.
But reading and writing is very important.
Absolutely yes. Absolutely yes. So wonderful. It's a market. It's a world of content marketing. Both of things are important. If you don't have a content which comes from reading and writing, then you won't survive. If you just have only content but no marketing, then also your work will not be reaching to the world. So marketing is a service when it comes to spreading your message to the world. So yeah, wonderfully summed up, Meeta. You have shared great insights about your book, about your author journey. So when you were writing this book, tell me, little bit shifting the gears, was there some specific reader avatar in your mind, that who should be reading this book? You're looking to somebody, imagining somebody that this is the person who will be reading my book and getting impacted. Do you have some kind of reader
I
persona in your
think
mind?
my book can be read by all age groups, starting
Hmm.
from the teenagers. I really wanted the young adults to read my book,
Hmm.
because it's very important for them to be not to be controlled by their fears and beliefs and thoughts. And
Hmm.
also, it would so that is why I created in a form of a story where
Hmm.
they can actually feel like being on an adventurous journey,
Hmm.
whether they'll survive the tribal land or not.
Hmm.
Because in tribal land there is a rule: whatever you think, that will manifest. So you
Hmm.
have to be very careful what you are thinking. You just
Hmm.
can't think like random thoughts or compulsive thoughts.
Hmm.
So when the and you cannot be out of the tribal land unless and until you are free of all this psychological thinking. Like, you have to die psychologically, not
Hmm.
physically. You have to die psychologically, then only you can be out of the tribal land. So it would be
Yes.
like a adventurous experience for the young adults, with a
Hmm.
great message. And
Hmm.
for adults, I think they have already been on this roller coaster ride of life. They have seen the people, they've seen the life, so they will know, okay, he was a reptilian mindset, this person was a survival mindset, and what kind of mind experience, their experiences are completely different
Hmm.
according to their mindset. So
Hmm.
I think every age group is going to find some or the other thing in my story. So
Absolutely.
I think it's for all age groups.
Wonderful. I think it's a quite a page turner. I looked at it. It was difficult to put it off. So wonderful book you have authored in a story format, in an adventurous story format, and you're rightly mentioning young adults who have not yet committed the mistakes. They will avoid committing those
They'll
mistakes.
start early on this.
Yeah, they will. So see, life is too short to commit all the mistakes by ourselves. So let's
Yeah.
learn from the mistakes of the people. So young adults should read this book to save their time in the life in terms of those wasted years. Adults who have experienced the life and could relate to that we are into survival mindset or reptilian mindset, so they can easily get some lessons from this book. So it was really great to have you on the show, Mita. So thank you so much for being here. Now, before I leave, let me talk to the audience who is watching this interview. Yes, everyone, if you are someone who is thinking of writing a book, who is thinking of publishing a book, or taking it to the bestseller level at worldwide, then I invite you to look at the video. The description is the link below, in the below the video, so you can watch this video, join the community, and you will be on the roller coaster ride of becoming an author, and it would be very fun based journey. I promise you that. Mita must have realized you that. So, and secondly, if you are someone who is willing to explore the realm beyond the mind, and that too in an adventurous story format way, you can't skip this book. Put your hands on to Mita's book, The Realm Beyond the Mind, and you will be into a wonderful island experiencing all this wonderful emotions, thinking process, and it will be a transformation for you. So, thank you so much, Mita. It was
Thank
great to
you.
have you on the show. I won't let you go before you share one parting piece of advice for anyone who is watching this video. Over to you.
I would like to share to observe your mind without any judgment, and to be in the present moment,
Hmm.
to enjoy every moment of life
Hmm.
the way it is.
Hmm. Wonderful, wonderful, great. It was a really very well summed up, because if we start to observe without judgment, and that will really start to change the game. So thank you so much for being here, and
Thank you.
watchers, you also subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and I'll be coming back sometime soon with the next amazing interview with an amazing author. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.